Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
And welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to tell you, we're brought to you by Dispose. That great small garbage coming down. Guys, stop seeing small because it shouldn't matter the size. We out to give you great customer service.
Right.
So one of the things I need you to do is go to my website. And as either mine or Bar Talk with Jay, or go to Dispose LLC and see what all we can do for you. Give us opportunity to show you how good we are. That's what I like to do at What Dispose.
Yes.
Now I gotta go back to what I do best is sit here with my man, what? Craftmatic that I've been rocking with since, what, 3 years strong?
3 years, bro.
How you doing, big baby?
Man, I'm fabulous, man. Fabulous.
You know, you still got that glow, bro.
Yeah, I keep that. You know, I try to keep that
about
glow.
that, you know, sidebar.
I keep that glow.
Okay.
But life is challenging
Uh-huh.
and a lot of fun, man. Got a lot of new stuff going on.
Okay.
So learning, growing, you know, just becoming my greatest possibility.
Yeah,
You know, as
you won't sell the beans for nothing, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So how you doing, Smooth Jay?
Let me tell you, man, fighting allergies, moving the company to another direction. One of the things I want to also say, if anybody got a CD truck out there, anybody know about that in the roll-off world, I definitely need a container truck. I got the big front loader, and I need the little one to go along with it. They like brother and sister, and I'm missing one of my units.
Right.
Got new trucks coming. I didn't post the new front loader, but it's a truck.
Okay.
I feel like I'm posting and everybody getting the wrong picture because they still cash out me, bro.
Yeah.
They ain't listening to the show. I done told, do not cash app a person without talking to a person.
Right.
I just
They
need
requesting
that.
money?
They requesting money, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, it's okay.
Tough.
We gonna let that go.
Let's
We
go ahead
gonna
and-
go for something more positive.
Yeah, let's give us a proper introduction. This is Bar Talk with Jay, and my name is Craftmatic. This is my boy
Smooth
Smooth Jay, and we are here to simply inspire through dialogue. We have just created a way to open doors to people's minds and hearts, and it's simply just sitting here having a really great discussion about certain topics. And most of the topics that we attack are kind of beneath the surface. They're what's going on in your heart and in your mind, not necessarily in the outside world of your life. We're trying to help you build a better you. And if you can see yourself in our conversation, if you can, find yourself in our dialogue, then you may be able to make some good, healthy decisions for yourself and for your life. And that's what we're here all about, is self-development. So we're glad you're with us tonight, and we got a great show lined up for you. Tonight, we are talking about picking I won't say the perfect mate, but how do you pick your mate?
I know you ain't asking me. I'm saying. I was married before. I ain't do a good draw. Come to horse.
Well, listen, because you're single, you probably have multiple ways to pick mates.
I mean, yeah, that's true. You ain't got to throw another knife. I feel that one. Little blood down the back crack.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put it into perspective. So we want you to stay tuned with us. We always start the show off with a prayer. And so let's go ahead and get it popping. Would you like to start,
Man,
Jay?
go ahead and give it to him, Crab.
All right.
Pastor.
I'd like to do something a little different tonight. It's just going to roll off the top of my head. And so let's do it this way. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence right now with our heads bowed and our hearts humbled, just thanking you for your awesome presence. Thanking you for all that you are in our life. And we ask, Heavenly Father, for the belief and for the strength to believe in something really major in our lives. We're asking for a spiritual bonanza, a supernatural miracle, powerful, miraculous event to happen in our life that dramatically changes everything. We're asking for something big and something powerful, something bold, something new to come into our life. And with this request, we just know that it's done. We allow you to do your good and perfect work. We thank you for a fabulous show tonight. And in Jesus' name we pray this. Amen.
Amen. If y'all didn't feel that, I was sitting back here like, yeah, go, Crab. I was right there rooting for you, man.
Yeah, man.
I was there for you.
Wouldn't you like something big to happen, though, Jay?
I've been wanting something big to happen for a long time.
I know, but how many times do we pray for big things? We usually pray
I don't
for
normally, but somebody
fixing little
told me,
things, you know?
yeah, their mom was starting to talk to people that passed away. I was like, can you ask them what the number is? I mean, they're already talking to them. I was just saying, is there anything you can pass along with the living?
Wow.
Help my brother.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying.
We stay on subject, man.
Oh, my bad.
My goodness, my goodness.
You know I need that super anointing. That's why you say that help, right? I'm right there with you, baby.
So, whether in your prayers or in your just daily affirmations or request upon life, or request upon the universe, ask for something big.
Major.
You don't get big things because you don't ask for big things. And that prayer was just an example of how to claim the increase and the good that you desire in your life.
I got to ask for that Mega Millions. I could begin to pick 3. I ain't big enough. You got to see. That's what I'm talking about. Got to make that change.
I wonder if we did a survey of the average millionaire, would they say that they asked for millions? I wonder what they would say. Like,
no, for sure. As soon as I get there, I'm gonna come back and revisit that.
The cat who started Facebook, I wonder if he really thought, if he knew, he had to have known. He was like, this is gonna change humanity.
Change the game.
This is gonna be worth billions. He had to have said it many times before the product came about. It seems like that's just the way the universe works. Let's go ahead and cover last week's topic. And we asked 2 very unique questions in last week's subject. And it goes like this. Have you ever been in love with another person while in a current relationship?
Okay, you snitching. Oh, yeah.
The second question was, would you compromise your happiness for the success of the relationship?
No. Man, why no? You gotta understand what the happiness starts from. It starts from within.
Yes.
And that's one of the problems what people have today is you look for somebody else to give you joy, and joy starts within.
Right.
Somebody can enhance it, and you can enjoy being around a person, but you really got to have a lot of that in you already.
Right.
And a lot of times you're not set up like that, so now you got a false sense of joy, you got a false sense of love, and you're going to probably be depressed when you find out about it's not a truth. But again, that's when you wake up and realize, which I hope you wake up real soon, because the person you with still loves you.
Right.
It's just, again, you got to find that joy and you got to tap into it.
Right.
Now, the first question, that happened too.
Been in love with more than one person?
Yeah, bro. I didn't think you could, because again, you got to remember, a lot of times that love is not always sexual.
Right.
It normally starts off somewhat mental. So I was physically in love with a person, and I started talking to another person, and I had a mental connection. And I didn't think it was that strong at first until I said, you know something, before it gets there, I'm just going to pull away. And it wasn't that easy. Matter of fact, pulling away seemed like it pulled us together, and then it became physical. So then I was just cheating.
Yeah.
I cheated.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out.
We made the comment last week, something to the tune of that perhaps a lot of guys are in love with the side chick. Right?
You can.
That, you love the woman at home, you'll forever love the wife or your girlfriend, but the side chick just makes you get excited, And,
I mean, she finds ways to make me smack.
Yeah, it's that in love type scenario, Mm-hmm. You can be in love with the side chick and love the woman at home, right? It is possible to love 2 people. I truly believe that. I do believe you get caught up in the World Wide Web when you do so, because your emotions will cause you to get pulled in so many different directions. Mm-hmm. They'll cause you to start lying because you think that the other 2 people obviously can't handle the truth. They may not know about one another.
Know the truth.
They may not know that you're feeling that way about someone else.
That's right, Joe.
Ultimately, if they pay attention, they'll start to see that the whole you is not there.
She did. Yeah. Because it's very hard to show another person and be with another person, and you trying to give them equally. You really have to be set up very strong for it. And a lot of times, since you're starting with lies and you're not being honest, it's kind of easy to see through.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to keep up with everything. So I'm not going to recommend that for anybody.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of the things to talk about, think about. It can be detrimental. That's why I've seen people's cars getting, windows getting knocked out, houses. I've seen people drive in your house.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is, I'm not condoning, I'm not saying I think that this should happen. No, I really feel like you done lost your damn mind. That's not necessary at all.
Yeah.
You should never let nobody flip your switch to a point you go out and do something insane like that.
And love will do it. Love is crazy anyway. Love will make you crazy. But we talked about some unique points on the subject. Things like, just imagine having two equal loves in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Two people who you really feel like you can count on, you can talk to, you know, whatever, all of that good stuff that goes with love.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, you decide you have to get rid of. At a certain point, you decide that you're going to have to get rid of one or the other. You're going to have to move on, and you know, who do you decide to give your love to, and how do you make those decisions? You know, that can be a really challenging situation. I say keep yourself out of those situations. As far as happiness, you know, it's only worth giving up happiness if there's more in it than just you. If it's just you and your spouse and you are happy, I don't really think there's a reason to be together. You know, if you built a home, you built a family, and you know there's a huge world that you support, you might have to fight through it, and you know you might have to give up. You might have to sacrifice some of your happiness in order to keep your family together. And sometimes keeping your family together is more important than your happiness. I think people get this twisted that we are not here to be happy. We are not living this life for happiness and for joy and for peace. Those things come as a result of our hard work. That's why the Lord rested on the seventh day. Right? We come here to get something done in your life, and if you haven't figured out what that is, you probably are unhappy already. Because having a purpose and having a sense of self is a part of what makes a person happy. And you know, we talked a little bit about you know, one thing that could take my happiness, one thing that makes me happy is how people treat me.
Oh yes.
I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness for, you know, bad treatment. I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness because I have somebody who crowds me or want to always be up under me, and you know, I can't have space to either go hang out or go to the park or whatever I do, you know. So it was a fabulous show. It was a really, really good show. I listened to it almost twice all the way through. And there's just a lot of meaningful nuggets in there for you folks who have not tuned into the show, or for our regulars. You can find us all over the internet. We're primarily bartalkwithjay.com.
Yes.
We have an edited version of the show on YouTube. We do live Facebook 7 to 9 every Thursday night on Facebook. We are at Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, iTunes. You meet me.
There you go. That's right. That's it. Yeah, you don't be starting over there.
Google Podcasts.
POS.
Yeah.
Tinder. We on Tinder now. That's right. We swiping left, swiping right. You can find me.
If you're looking for Bar Talk with Jay, I promise you'll find us on some of your favorite platforms.
Craigslist.
And
OfferUp.
Yeah. Again, we're only here to serve. We're only here to make a difference. We're only here to do something powerful. So we hope that you enjoy our shows, that you share them, you like them, share them, like them, share them, like them, subscribe, and continue to stay connected to us, because we're always just trying to bring you a positive and inspirational message, and we hope that you believe so too. Obviously, Barbara could not be with us tonight, and she gave me an opportunity to put together our quote. And I put together a simple quote. And let's just all read into it just a little bit here. It goes like this: stop lounging and start laughing.
Okay.
Stop lounging and start laughing. What could we mean by that, Jay?
I mean, you know, when I look at my life, a lot of times it hurts when you go through a lot of things.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
But when we reflect on relationships and I go back to a lot of things I've been through, I can laugh now.
Okay.
I've been through it because a lot of times it's a lesson.
Okay.
If you really learn from a lesson, you can really laugh and you can understand it in a different way instead of looking at it as anger. Everything don't have to be a negative. That's a mentalness that you learn, okay? Mental behaviors that we want to stick to. So it seems like everything I learned got to be hard and, you know, rough. Where a lot of times you go back and look at it, you had to learn from it. So when you took it in a different way of looking at it, now I can laugh about it. Because when I was going through it, I didn't laugh at all. I took a serious approach to it, handled the best of my ability. Then somebody asked, what happened to that crazy girl you dated? Just know, bro, we can laugh now. At that time, I had to go through some things.
Yes.
Now that I'm through them, I can laugh about them, and I don't have to put anyone down. I can laugh my way back to the top.
Yeah, and I love that. That's almost perfect to what I'm talking about, because what you mentioned is basically dealing with my past, right? Letting go of the old bags, finding a way to laugh at yourself, laugh at your mistakes, right? Here's something that I don't know that I've ever even heard. It just really is coming off the top of my head, but lounging breeds unhappiness.
Yeah, next to laziness.
In every area of your life. When you are lounging, when you are lazy, when you have apathy, when you're not doing anything in life, when you're just sitting back fearing and doubting, worrying and wondering, all of those people are unhappy. And they have, a lot of sad stories, and they probably got a lot of sad friends and a lot of stories about their friends. If we were to move from the past to the present and say, stop lounging and start laughing, that means we're going to start to get focused on something good in our life. Whatever it is for you, it's time to get focused on something good. I think I could probably say that every single show, and it would make a difference. Because too many of us are sitting on our heels rather than running on our toes. This life is meant for you to be going to get something, and so your unhappiness will cease when you get focused on your life. Right? And of course, for your future, stop lounging and start laughing. The people who have accomplished great things in life are full of joy. The people who have been there and done that and made things happen, they can look over their shoulders at their entire life and say, I don't have any regrets. My business failed miserably, but I went so hard. I put my kids through college. I bought houses. I bought cars. I've been there, done that. I don't need no more. I'm happy. I'm happy, right? So when we talk about the future, it's about getting up, making something happen, and being able to see and marvel at your own successes. Right? I can take what I've done in the last 30 days and be like, wow, I just made a difference here.
Yeah, you
know what I
worked
mean?
it, dude.
And this stuff that I've been lounging on for years. I finally got the guts or the glory or the mentality to go and get it.
You gotta do.
And I'm making great achievements inside of 30 days.
Yes.
Stop lounging and start laughing.
If I had to change it, only thing I would tell somebody if they didn't catch it, stop lounging, start doing.
Start doing.
Because it takes action.
That's good.
You know,
That's
the
good.
laugh is an action. We just want you to take a positive way, because laughter brings out a lot of humor,
Right.
brings out a lot of stuff that makes you want to think.
Right.
And the number one thing we want you to do is start doing. That's it,
doing.
behind
Yes.
and getting it done.
Yeah.
Again, you want something, put action, put work. Anybody ever wanted something from me? I need to know what you're going to do for it.
Right.
Don't just ask.
Right.
What actions are you going to do to repay, or what you going to do with it to
Right.
gain
Right.
wealth?
Right.
I'm tired of somebody just asking.
Right.
I mean, my kids are grown now.
Right.
So I want somebody to give me business plans.
Absolutely.
Come to me correct, so I can go back to you correct, because I want to give.
Yes.
I got money to give, but I just can't give it to any and everyone that just want. Hey man, I just want some of your money.
Yeah.
Well, I work for mine. Ain't nobody just came and wrote me a check for nothing.
Right.
Anything I sold, I bought.
Yeah.
There's nothing I had to take from nobody else, so don't come take from me.
There you go.
And that's why I want to make sure they get that mental right.
Yeah.
And
Get that
again, it
mental
takes
right.
work.
Yeah.
It takes work, baby.
It takes plans and it takes actions. And planned actions produce revenue. You ever wrote a business plan, a good business plan, and asked for $500,000?
you know how many times I had to rewrite them? You know, because again, your vision might not be somebody else. They want to get
planned action.
And believe me, and then you got to work it.
Yeah, then you got to work it. Man,
Right.
listen. Let's go ahead and get prepared for our first break.
All right,
As
all
you
right.
can see, Jay and I are just excited and on
Having
fire about the
fun.
show and some of these great topics. Tonight, we're talking about how do you pick your mate?
Lord, yeah, that's gonna be good.
How do you pick your mate? And there
Mhm.
seems to be two things we need to
Yeah,
deal with, and how is number one, and the definition of mate is number two.
Oh Lord, it's gonna be like this tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you pick your mate? I think there's a huge amount of criteria that we use, and we just want to cover some of it. Opening your third eye so that when Mr. and Mrs. Right show up, you'll know what you're looking for. So I want you folks to stay tuned. We're going to continue with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. We got Jamal coming on. We got the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey coming on tonight. And of course, Jay and I go hard in the paint the second half of the show. So stay tuned. We'll be right back to more Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back to Bar Talk with Jay. One of the things I gotta tell you, during our breaks, we sit back and we be jamming and going through our thoughts. And that's the same thing we want you to do during your breaks. Get a moment to digest what we talking about. We want to wake you up, big baby. Make you feel real good, to make you really open up to what we're about to do next. What we're about to do next, Craft Maddie?
I say it's time to go in on the subject, man.
We already.
Yeah, we don't have Brother Jamal here. I think there's a lot to cover.
Oh, it is, but
subject,
you ready to go hard in the paint already?
Well, no, we ain't got to go hard, but we just strike up a conversation, shall we?
Hey, I ain't got a problem with it, partner.
So I'm going to ask you point blank, Jay.
Oh, damn. Really?
How did you pick your mate?
By sight. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's be honest.
Sight.
A lot of times when you out, let's go back to the clubbing days, and I'm sitting there, and I'm at a club, and going back one younger days, and I'm looking, because they don't want to talk about me now. Okay, we're going to talk about them, because now we got Tinder and all these apps. We're talking about this little sidebar. Right now, we went to the club, and you see these girls sitting at the table, usually about 4. They got their drinks and they smiling. And I try to get eye contact with one. And if she give me that eye contact back and I feel like it might be a small thing, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just by physical looks. I mean, I look at her, I see some attraction in how she look, and then she look at me, and then she give me that finger. You know that, come on over here. Now, that's a setup finger too. But you got to see, she want to see if you're strong enough to walk up with her girls and take that harassment they're about to give you real quick. And then you walk on up and you start that conversation, but you keep it smooth where you can kind of get other people just to chime in, ask how everybody doing, but you keep your eyes on that one person.
Right.
Let her know she the prize. But then they would wave her away. Because that private talk, they all want to, chime in. You don't want that.
Yeah.
That don't work out well. They team the tag team you, okay?
Right.
Women are vicious. I went in there, man. I'm telling you, like going in the Lions Den, it ain't cool. So you gotta get them away. And then you can keep your cool, because they say some shit, make your first feelings.
They will.
Now,
they will.
Walk up to the wrong table and talk to the wrong one, and think you're gonna talk to the next one. Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't gonna eat good for you. That's when I'll be sitting back watching people do that. Oh, you toe up.
So, what is it about this particular woman that attracted you?
I mean, usually it's probably her presence, how she was just looking at me. Could have been what she was wearing. Not necessarily she was provocatively showing anything. She was just showing me a nice smile. She had a little glow to her. Her hair was nice. Her nails might have been done. Teeth looking nice. And the main thing is she smiled at me. So again, we caught each other's attention. There's some time I caught somebody looking real good and they wasn't looking at me. So their looks just caught my attention and they wouldn't look at me. So I wasn't quick to approach, because again, if they don't show no interest, sometimes you can be intrusive. They could be in a relationship and they happy. Even
Right.
though I might find them attractive, they can find that as being rude. Because they ain't come out for that. And my whole thing is not to insult anybody. I mean, it's just to meet people.
Right.
So to me, it's also about a respect level. Just because you're out there on the prowl don't mean everybody that's out there prowling too.
Right. That's a
So
good point.
be respectful.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And then you brought up a whole lot of interesting things as we talk about how do you pick your mate tonight. Sight, physical looks. And, I even want to talk about that a little more. You mentioned eye contact.
Yes.
And sometimes picking a mate has a lot to do with how they respond to you.
I would say it helps because I had
Yeah,
some
it
I
makes a
walked
huge
into
difference.
the big girls. You know, and one thing about me, I used to attract big ones, right?
You did, huh?
Yeah, man, I came to the table, you know, I see this nice little flower. I'm saying, she's small, cute, compact. I said, oh, look at her. You know, I'm trying to give her the eye. And big girl, like, yeah, look at,
Listen.
like a strawberry delight. I'm like, you ain't eating nothing here. Your big, hey, listen, hold
Listen,
on.
big-
No, that ain't, that, I know they need love too. Now, hey, listen, big women, hey, I ain't got nothing against you. Just, I'm older, my back. I'm just saying, back when I was younger, I attacked.
Big
Just
girls-
trying to understand me.
Big girls are aggressive.
They can be.
They are aggressive.
But I ain't mad at them.
Yeah.
I like some of their aggression. I've been with
And I think a lot of men who get picked by a big woman oftentimes can't resist, or don't want to say no for a while and then get sucked in.
yeah, you ain't never holy way. It worked real good in the wintertime.
A lot.
Worked real good in the wintertime. Kept me warm. I'm just saying, nothing again. I don't want nobody to think that I got anything against size of women because again, I've dated from small, big, thick, big bottom, big upper, all that. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's all in your flavor. And my whole thing is if I look at you and I'm not attracted, it doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Right.
But if you looking at me for something more, it's just wise to handle that on the upfront.
It's an interesting comment. You're attracted. I want to know, what is that attraction? I mean, can we say more about that?
Oh, sure. Let's dive all the way in.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at somebody, right? It's like, and one of the things that I get attracted to is how they smile and if they got a glow.
They got a glow.
Yes, because I see happiness.
Okay.
Because I had to learn my own glow. So now that I see somebody else with it, it's like, okay, that person is good with themselves. Them the best ones to be around. They're fun. They're out. They ain't out to make your day. They out to make themselves. They already got happiness in them. That's why a lot of people always grab them when they go out. They already on cloud 9. Everybody else got to get there. They already there. They amped up. They having fun. They ain't had no drinks, no nothing. And they always talking crazy and having fun. Them the ones that you want to be around, but they're good on the inside. When I say good, it's just they know themselves. They're there, and they ain't faking. This is just me. You can say some things, and it might take me a second off kilter a little bit. Just a little bit off. But I'm gonna come right back to me because I'm not gonna let you steal my joy. And them the ones I look for because they just glow. And that glow is just a nice glow. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I seen some baby oil, and they was just shining like mud. It threw me off a little bit. I was like, damn, man, I couldn't tell. It was slipping slide now. So it became sexual. You got that much oil on. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Put a little glitter on you, girl. What we doing? I'm just saying my mind, my
And
bag.
it's on your forehead. Too,
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's gonna be all around my back when I'm done with you, man. It's just all in sometimes that chemistry of just, and I'm talking about this is almost without that real conversation.
Yeah.
Before we even talk anything about what we're gonna be doing later, it's just looking at you.
Yeah.
And again, I like to say, remember, God created beautiful women.
Yes.
So for us not to stare at them, I don't care what nobody say. I know people like other whatever, but a beautiful black woman,
A beautiful
and you talking
black
about you
woman.
ain't looking.
Oh my God.
I don't think I can say is you look your way, I'm gonna look mine.
Right.
Because I appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you very much. I don't say you got to do all the extras, all the add-ons and the rest. Just please be happy with yourself. If you got a couple extra things, kind of let me know because I don't like pulling out tracks. I heard that's very expensive, like $300. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep men if I knew. I mean, you made it sold in so good, I thought it was yours.
Right.
Pull out things ain't yours. My bad.
Right.
So again, I ain't trying to know everything about you, but I want to know you.
Okay.
That's what made me want to know you.
Okay.
Just that
Okay.
attraction right there. I can't say it's gonna go on much farther than the eye thing, but it's just nice to be able to give a person a compliment. I also think you can give a person a compliment without pushing on or making them feel less than. Like, oh, you just fine as a mud. Oh, you don't want to holler at me? Oh, get on and F this. That just shows your immaturity.
Right.
That person look good. If they ain't talk to you, that don't mean they look anything less. Just let it go.
Have you ever been in a scenario where you walked up to that table, those 3 or 4 women, and you had your eye on one,
Mhm.
but see, I'm one of those, I like to let the dust settle, right?
Okay.
I like having casual conversation, and then out of the conversation, we all just fun-filled, getting to know each other. that the one who I had my eye on, she may be kind of ditzy, or she may not, you know, she may be loud, you know, right? She may be kind of ghetto. It could be all kinds of stuff that we discover, right? A little slow, whatever the case may be.
I mean,
but the attraction that I initially had from across the room may not be the same when I get in front of them.
No,
right?
I mean, conversation can change.
And you start to see the glow come out of somebody else at the table. And, you know, for you guys who know how to approach a team of women, then, you know, letting the dust settle might prove good for you picking the right person.
I'm going to go to the table again on this one, because I think you hit a key one. I think we're going to hit this one out of the park. When you have that situation and you looked at that person and you had that little eye contact and you see now she's not attracted by the things that she say, and conversation is not the same, and then this other person is talking on a higher level.
Right.
And she's trying to involve herself.
Right.
I let her take over more of that conversation. So that way I don't offend the one that's sitting here, because you already know she's going to say something if I put my attention completely in the next person.
Well, see, the one I go to the table for, she don't know I come to the table for her.
You got to remember, she don't, but she kind of want it. Because she kind of seen you, and when you walk up, she kind of keep looking at you. But when you start looking this other way, remember, you didn't have that deep conversation with her. You had an open.
Yeah.
That's why I love how you saying it. Because
Right.
if I have an open conversation with everybody, I'm letting the dust settle, as you said.
There you go.
But at this time, she's showing more interest. So I let her conversation draw me in.
Yes.
So if she do say, well, I was looking at you first, or something like that,
Yes.
see, she's the hater.
Yes.
We're going to let her hate herself out, and we're going to let the other person come back in.
And let's point out the fact that at the very moment a dialogue begins to happen in this team of people, that beauty is no longer determined by how you look, right? Because we'll start to make some new decisions. We'll be like, oh, she's super cool. You know what I mean? Like she, you know, she was a 7, but when she started talking, she became an 8.5. You know, you know, because she's crazy, sexy, cool, and the other chick ain't got no conversation. She cute, and you know,
ain't doing that.
Yeah, you know, and you know, the longer I be around, I see a few bags or not. I know.
Makeup high.
I know the corn on the shoulder.
See some craters and acne.
Yeah.
That make you look good.
That belt she wore out.
Whoa! On that, it's stretching.
Yeah.
That mother and her toes coming out.
No holes in it.
Them feet, you like,
hey,
better let them things breathe.
Ladies, I don't want y'all to think we hard on you.
No.
We ain't got no women in the house to represent men, because I know y'all be talking about.
Oh yeah, they look at our shoes, our nails.
He need a new pair of shoes. He need a haircut. Somebody need to fix his teeth.
Whoa! his breath kicking.
What? Yeah.
You all over that breath.
Superhuman halitosis.
Don't ask me nothing.
There's a lot of things that can turn you off, right?
On both
when you are trying to pick a mate, and that's the point of this whole discussion.
Is having that discussion.
Yeah, having a discussion. You know, how do I pick a mate? Because if you've gone in a relationship, let's just say in the last several weeks or several months, you entered into a relationship. I'm hoping that this conversation is giving you some ahas about how and why you pick that person. I'm hoping this conversation is giving you some guidance about the next time you're in that situation, starting to pick a mate. You're going to be alert. You're going to start to say, oh yeah, he's cute, but I just found out he ain't got no car, he lived with his mama, right, in the conversation. So now you go in detached, just wanting friendship, wanting companionship. And if they're worthy of your time, if they're worthy of your space, if they're worthy of your attention, then you can start to give them more and start to, you know, start to get to know them, or trade numbers, or whatever the case may be. So, man, I'm loving this discussion. This is absolutely awesome stuff.
And one of the things I want to say, in the conversation, don't be harsh and judgmental. You just met a person.
Hey, say that. Say that, because that's
you want to go.
We need a segment for that.
Oh, okay,
yeah. We need a whole segment for that.
You gotta stop me missing.
How do I label that segment?
Don't be so judgmental.
Yeah, judgmental.
Yeah, because when you date, you can be very much that.
That's
and
good. That's good
can be
because
very hurtful on the upfront.
well, yeah, and it also will push you out the back door.
Ooh,
you know. So
harshly and quickly.
we're going to continue this discussion. I do believe we got good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey going to be on with us tonight.
Oh, Lord.
And of
Hope he had a
course,
good day.
if for any reason something goes awry, we got a lot of good content to cover. So y'all stay tuned. Hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be right back to more Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back to Bar Talk with Jay. Alright, we gotta turn it down a little bit, but one of the things I want to tell you,
All right.
when we have our break,
Yes, we do. Yes,
It's
we
about to
do.
be back on and
Back up.
popping now,
A
though.
little bit more seat.
You just don't understand what we're about to do. I don't think they're ready, Crab.
I don't think they're ready either. Do we have the good Reverend here tonight with us?
No, we ain't got them, man.
No,
It's
that's
just
okay.
me and
That's
you
okay.
tonight.
That's okay.
Just me and you.
That's okay. We got enough to talk about, and I really like where this conversation was going.
Okay, I like that.
Because every new interaction with
Mhm.
someone starts with the appearance.
Okay.
It always starts with how they look. And when we see other people, we often are deciding how well their looks might fit into our world, right? If I see a beautiful woman, then I'm like, okay, yeah, she kind of fine. I may be down to holler. Let me see what she's talking about. Let me see where her mind's at. If she's not so attractive or not have herself together that particular day, we might have a tendency to say, well, we'll be friends with them, or, say, hey, how she doing, see what's happening. But my intent is a little less because it doesn't meet my standard of attractiveness.
I 100% agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, my level of attractiveness can be swayed by appearance. I'm infamous. I always say, this is just one of my old college things, right?
Mhm.
That there are superstars, there are dime pieces, and then there are squirrels.
Which are you in this world?
Hold on now, let me explain. Right?
yeah. Define yourself.
Okay,
You probably get somebody.
superstars are just off the chain. They're absolutely so beautiful. Usually they got the attitude of untouchable, too cute for everything, for everybody, but they are just absolutely off the chain, beautiful and fine, right?
Sound like stuff.
Dime pieces, absolutely gorgeous, real women, got real jobs, real lives, just, fly, da-da-da-da-da. But that squirrel is the one who...
Trying to get a nut in your world.
The squirrel is the one who you might have several interactions with her before you realize, like, damn, she's fine. You might have several communications with her before you be like, man, I ain't never see all that. Maybe she come to the Christmas party, or she come dressed for the evening and you never saw her dress up before. And listen, a lot of squirrels. Most of the world are squirrels.
No, I'm telling you. No,
Right?
no,
And we don't
say-
see them until after a while.
Now,
After we
I'm
get
gonna
to
tell
know
you.
'em a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
tell you.
I'm gonna tell 'em a little
I'm gonna tell
bit.
you. There is some people that I like to say that you could consider a squirrel, and then like you said, when you really pay some attention, then all of a sudden you notice some things, and you're like,
Yes.
it's a little different. They really just wanted to squirrel. I just didn't pay them no real attention. They came off annoying.
That's my point.
So you kind of just push them off. I'm just saying, I want to define to some people about squirrel because they be like, well, that hink, she wasn't fine. No, she was just annoying as hell.
No,
I
she
didn't
wasn't
look at-
annoying.
No,
She
I'm
was
just saying mine
she was just under
my
the
friend
radar.
was, bro. She was my friend, and she was annoying as hell. She was cute. She was just annoying. She always had to talk about everybody. She always thought she was the thing, and it was like, because you just so raunchy, I just automatically blocked her. All right, now she was kind of cute.
Yeah.
I just blocked her automatically. So everybody else was always talking about how alright she was and everything else, and I just knew her attitude. So it was like, who cares? And then I found out she liked me. It changed my whole life. You was like, now what happened to all that she was this and that? I bet she fought.
Yeah.
So, but she annoyed me at first. So I just didn't even look at her like
I'm
that.
gonna tell you
Didn't
what-
approach her,
Yeah.
nothing.
Let me tell you, it has happened on numerous occasions to me. in the workplace, for example.
Mhm.
Somebody you work with, you
How
know,
did that
you've been
work
working
out?
with them, you've been working with them for a while, right?
How that work out?
And then all of a sudden you be like, damn, she kind of sexy. She kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, you know what? I might need to take her out. Am I the only one ever going through
No,
this?
you ain't the only one. With it. I know it was when she first walked through, bro. I just didn't holler at her. You know,
like
HR told me she can,
I remember.
but besides HR, I knew I wanted to.
Yeah.
So when she quit, it was on and popping or
Yeah.
moved to a division
Let me
that I
tell
could
no
touch.
stories now about the studio. Because we've
You
had women who
smart.
come in here who are squirrels, and before they
Oh.
left, you were like, damn, she was kind of fine.
You know something? It's snitching like a son bitch right about
Now
that.
you trying to play the right hand card, man.
Man, I'm
I ain't trying
playing
to bullshit.
business, but
No,
he
no.
didn't do
You know
it.
exactly
I
what
was
I'm talking
drinking.
about.
I was drinking.
Wait, wait, wait. She didn't get cute until you had your first
I had a
drink.
couple of drinks. My bartender did it. Man, them drinks
That's
be
what I'm
off the
talking about,
chain.
right?
You get them drinks in you, it changed your whole life.
Yes.
I think she be putting something in them. Would you be back there
Yeah.
putting in them drinks, girl?
Yeah, you know.
Okay, it's
I'm
just,
just-
okay. I ain't gonna blame the alcohol. I ain't gonna be like Jamie Foxx. I ain't gonna blame the alcohol. Sometimes you do change up how you might have
That's my
perceived
point.
things on the front, and
That's
that's
my
what I
point.
love about what we do. We got to be more transparent when we talk. You can't just think it's just one way. And I really feel like that's why people want to have a great conversation.
But you know what? I have a feeling that a lot of people are getting in trouble with relationships because they're picking by the wrong things.
Yeah.
They're getting themselves tied up with people, and they can see some of the bullshit right at the outset.
That's your case.
But they think they're supposed to just continue to flow because you got a good-looking person, or maybe you got somebody who's got money, or you can see their potential, or you know, who knows what all the criteria might be.
I got one for you.
But you know, we got to start taking a little deeper look into the character of the person who we are wanting
I got
or
one for you.
bringing into our life as a mate.
If somebody come in and you just meet them, and I had a conversation with some younger people just into the show and just talking to them, and they first thing, I gotta get the bag. The Cardi B. You get in the bag. Yeah, it's all about getting the bag.
In the bag. What's the
I
bag?
get it, but they giving me the shorthand, just the bag. Okay, they're getting that money. They want to get the money. I get it. You want to get the money. I never heard a plan on how to get the money. All I heard is I listen to Cardi B and I want to get the bag. It's work behind scenes to get things. And that's the conversation most people really want to hear, not a snippet from somebody else. And that's why these formulas ain't working. They got songs that's just being played and you repeating them, and you ain't doing them. But you thinking, oh, but it hypes me up. It can hype you up all day long. But your actions, it's all back on you. But I'm hearing from somebody else. Now you gave me your snippet. I'm still waiting to hear from you. That's what I'm saying, false representation. You got her representing you and you ain't representing yourself. So it's not gonna go nowhere. I mean, the conversations will almost be that to me. So it's like, okay, now I know this probably ain't gonna go no further, but we're gonna finish up because I don't gotta be disrespectful.
Okay.
But you gonna let her talk, you gonna let her finish up, and you might not put her in your phone. You might not save that number. You might get the number and not save it just because you had a great conversation, or you might see, hey, I might be able to talk to her later on. Maybe she'll change up. I don't know. Just, you know,
She's
just
not
being
gonna change
real.
up, no.
She probably won't. But again,
Yeah.
you just try to be nice to everybody because again, I ain't trying to be judgmental.
Yeah, and that's a great segment into what I really wanted to cover this segment was being kind of judgmental in conversation. So you meet someone, you start having dialogue with them, and you discover maybe they have been in trouble in their past. That's not necessarily the time to fire them,
No.
right?
No.
Or maybe they're in trouble now. You know, I was.
Hold on.
I
I'm
was-
wrong?
No.
I mean, is it a warrant?
I went out with a young lady one time, and
Just let me know, because I'll tell you.
she mentioned her probation officer. And,
Probation officer.
you know, I didn't I didn't judge things, right? Well,
You don't need a judge.
I didn't ask.
She done did some shit.
Yeah.
Ain't no judging in. No,
She
you
done
got,
did
you
something.
got papers on you.
But I shouldn't quite judge her, right?
No,
then.
but don't take out the state. Just saying they gonna go well. Just saying, just helping you out.
I need to see if she had on her bracelet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know that's like Bella type stuff. Yeah, you need to know that, bro. You know, she killed somebody or something. You need to know.
Yeah. So it's important that when people are talking to you, especially for the first time, you give them an opportunity to
Mhm.
represent them whole selves, right?
Mhm.
And you may hear some stuff coming out, but it's important to not be judgmental, because the person who you judge down is probably the person who may be able to give you the most insight, who may even be most, a lot like you in some cases, if you give them an opportunity to express themselves without judgment. It's easy to look at a person and say they're not worthy. We do that. We do that all too often, I think, in life. I know a lot of people, when a lot of our salespeople, when customers come in the showroom, that the salesperson can pretty much judge them right from the get. They'll see the car they drove up in. They'll see the clothes that they're wearing. They'll start kind of hear their language in the first couple of requests that they make about a car, and they pretty much done made the whole decision. And what a lot of guys will do, they say, well, they're time wasters, they're tire kickers, they're not going to buy anything today. They become judgmental. But if you'll sit there and listen and learn and build a friend with empathy, you'll find that they just got a huge settlement from their family's estate, or you'll find that they've been saving for 10 years to buy this brand new car. And that there's a lot of things that can happen when you aren't judgmental with people, because it's easy to push people out. There becomes a time to push people out, but just because that girl had a little too much mouth, etc., don't mean she isn't a superstar in her business and might not be able to help you somewhere down the road.
I'm gonna give you 2 stories on that one. I'm gonna give you one story that you can relate to real easy. I remember when I pulled up at your dealership and I wanted to get my vehicle I got outside. Remember, I pulled up in a van.
Yeah.
I had this van for a long time, so one thing you gotta understand about me, I'm not one of the people that got a showboat, but I do got a BMW for all y'all haters. Don't get it twisted.
Yes,
I drove my van.
yeah.
I got a nice car as well. But my A to B car was a van that was reliable, but I didn't get no respect. I pull out, people cut me off, it's like it was a van, like soccer dad. So I got to a point, I was like, crap, I gotta get something a little bit better. I'm being more seen. And Crap was like, well, what you want? I was like, Crap, just pick me a nice SUV. He's like, what? I was like, Crap, I don't really care. I'm just gonna get an SUV. He's like, yo, do this and get pre-approved, and I got you. Walked in, I'm walking out of a van. Now, of course, Crap got me. My boy, automatically. But when I walk in, somebody tried to come holler at me. But I was like, no, I'm here for somebody. I already got somebody taking care of me. And you came out, and we got that deal done. One of the best, easiest car buys I ever had. You picked it out, and I bought it. No, it ain't always be like that, but I was not judgmental. I wasn't even judgmental on what you picked for me. I just know I wanted something different. And I always don't have to be one that got to pick it to feel like I'm going to love it and ride with it. A lot of times I need change.
Right.
Okay? And I trust your judgment, and I ain't have to have no other. I ain't have to have too many more people what I need to do. I know I needed something different.
Right.
Now, when I look at people that come to me and they might have been through a divorce, they've been through a situation, they went through some hard times, and they don't have all what they have. I don't have a problem listening to you or talking to you. It's just my whole thing is your mindset. Just because you down don't mean you out. You call yourself damaged. I've helped a lot of people that said they was damaged. I referred them to a can that fell off the shelf. Okay? The substance that was in that can was still good. But because of that dent on the outside, they want to mark it down. Don't let nobody judge your value by a dent. We all go through things, okay? That can come out. And all what's in you will show up. And I'm just saying, a lot of us are going through so much, we devalue ourselves. And we feel like we can never get back where we were because of how low we went. No, these are all lessons. So why am I gonna step on you when I had some falls myself? When I started half my business, I leaped. I hit all kinds of rocks on my way down. I got bruises. It wasn't easy. Anybody see my business now, you want to brag on it, I promise you it wasn't easy, and I ain't going to sit here and tell nobody nothing more than some people got easy success. Mine did not come so easy. It came with work, long hours, and I'm proud of it because, again, to make something, you got to do something. But one of the things I can tell you is when I hear somebody else and they tell me their struggles, I ain't got to show no shame. I don't even show no empathy because, again, they went through that. That's their lesson. But I don't have to judge them. I can sit back and say, you know something? They've been through something. But I want to see how they're going to recover from it because I had to recover. That recovery lets me rank you. It's not just me judging you. I rank you by how you are recovering. What are our steps are you doing? Are you sitting there giving me a pity statement because you want me to write you a check? Oh, see, I'm sad for you at that point, because it's probably not going to happen. Now, if you're telling me a plan of getting up and it's something we can align with, and it's something I can help you with through alignment to get you there, then at this point, I can see where we can fit better. But just to say, you gave a sad story and I can do something to help because your deadbeat dad ain't paying child support, he ain't doing this and that. Some things is accountability. It's not for me to come in and judge you. You have to handle it. It's not for me to step in and, oh, now I'm Captain Save-A-Ho. No, it is for me to sit back and see what you gonna do. Are you gonna be more helpful? Are you gonna hold them more accountable? Because again, I've ran into a lot of people to just looking for somebody to help them through something, and they don't want to take the responsibility to do anything. Them are the ones I'm more or less reluctant to go further with, because you're trying to drag me into something that I didn't put myself into, because ain't nobody helped me with mine. My 5 took me responsible all the way through, and it ain't nobody's fault, it's mine. I did it, I'm good with it. So when I see somebody else, I have to make sure they go through their fire. That's what made me strong. That's what made me want to put more into my business and put more in other people in a positive way that's feeling like, okay, I can give you this and this will fix everything. Just know they'll probably come back. It's going to be more, because the only thing you did was put a Band-Aid on an artery that's been cut deep. They're going to bleed out. So you thought you helped the world. And then next thing you know, they're coming right back for more. And you keep wondering why. It's not the help that you think you're giving. Sometimes we have to listen deeper and quit judging and figure out what strategies they need to come up with their plan. One of the things you said, write it down. When they start talking about these plans, did you write them down? Are you following them? Because a lot of people just want quick fix. And their life ain't quick. It took time for this to happen. But they want us to come on air and give us a quick fix. Why don't y'all just cash app everybody? Because it won't fix nothing. I promise you, if I sat out here and I gave out hundreds of dollars, somebody will be looking for next week for more hundreds of dollars to be passed out, because all you want to do is get it easy. When all you need to do is listen and figure it out. It's an equation. It's an equation for you. I figured mine out. Now you got to figure yours out. Anybody that's successful figured out an equation how to keep doing what they're doing, to keep making what they're making. That's an equation. You have to figure out yours. Quit trying to duplicate somebody else's. That's why it ain't working all the time. Or it's a quick work and then it's not no long success because you didn't figure out the formula. You stole the formula. I took from what he did and I took from what he did, but where you at? And that's why I call robbing.
Okay.
Quit robbing and then figuring out that you can't succeed. Because again, her success is going to be her success.
Yeah.
His success is going to be his. But when I look at them two and I see all the things that they do, they stay united. They stay as a front. She got him, he got her. Okay, well maybe I need to watch the people I'm with because everybody ain't got my back. I can learn from other people without being hurt. Watch the circle. Circle of influence of a powerful source can put you in a different mindset.
Yeah, let's get ready. Let's get ready to take a break. Excellent commentary, dude.
What you gonna
There's
go
so much
next?
there I wanted to attack.
Oh,
but-
we're gonna go back. We got the bartender next. You know, she got her drink coming up.
Yeah. So you folks stay tuned. Jay and I continue to talk about this great subject tonight. How do you pick your mate? And we'll be right back. More Ball Talk with Jay.
I just want y'all to know, right now, if y'all on Bar Talk, or if y'all on Jeremiah page, definitely go to Bar Talk. We're about to go in on the second half, going in deep. So again, we're going to re-syndicate on my page after the show. So again, if anybody thought we stopped anything, no, we didn't stop. We just have to go to the fan page because we got to get more people on it because I'm maxed out. Now, one of the things we're going to do on this time, we're going to take some questions from my man C behind the board.
Okay.
And we're going to have Kraft narrating. Because he got a lot of questions, and Jay ain't scared to answer nothing.
I ain't scared to answer either, bro.
Oh, so you, well, hell, Kraft, let's have some fun real quick before we even ask C.
What you got for us, C?
C, you ain't on yet.
Can you hear me?
No,
Nope.
we don't hear you, bro. But can you make sure the switch at the bottom?
It's up.
Well, we still here, Kraft.
You.
See?
Is it turned on the bottom?
Want to switch that on the bottom?
Yeah, right there. All right, there we go.
There we go. We got
All right.
C in the
I
house.
told you
C
he
usually
did
run the
that.
boards for us.
He
You're doing a
did
great job. And got some questions for us. What's on your mind tonight, bro?
Yeah, man. So, I'm a little bit younger than you guys, so I'm going to come from that perspective.
Okay, young
coming
buck.
from my OGs.
Okay.
So, one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys is, how important do you think the selection committee, the people that you tend to lean on when you want to bring a mate to, how important is having one of those being solid? And have you ever had a situation where you didn't listen and you regret not listening?
Okay, I'll jump on that one first. And that is, I got some brothers. And to be in my brotherhood, you have to be a very special person that's enlightening to me. That's a person that I look at that I can feel that I can give anything to, okay? So in my brotherhood, which is a few good brothers that's doing positive things to the community, I have around me. And again, I like to bring people of interest. Now, I don't bring everybody that I just talk to, because that's a waste of time. They'll talk about me all day long, because they ain't got a problem doing that. They'll never have, never will. So, if I have somebody of interest and I bring them to them, I'm very confident that they would give me a first-hand impression of what the conversation that they had, because they go into them. They want to ask them some questions because they want to see me happy. So they have a lot of time my best interest in the conversation that they're having to see how they're responding. And then they'll have that conversation with me a little bit in front of her, but not to embarrass her. I'm gonna have a sidebar normally with them when they're not around.
Okay.
And that one's gonna be more in depth, where they want to know where and that's what I love about you. They hold you accountable. You brought her. What's your real point? Besides how I feel, what is your thoughts of where y'all gonna go? And then I give you my thoughts of where she might be to see if y'all are in alignment. And that's what I like it, because it's not just judgmental, but again, you want to hear their opinion on how strong-minded she might have seemed. It would seem like she was into you. She was more on her phone. She never paid you no attention. These are the small things that you don't always have time to do, that they have no problem dissecting. And I think it's important sometimes. It's very key.
Yeah, I think it's important to have your team to help you, because oftentimes if you're in love or infatuated, you're caught up and sometimes blinded by some of the real truths. There's only one person in my life who is kind of makes the absolute difference in the person who's going to be in my life. And that's my best friend, my boy from Orlando, Ron Newsom, and he just seems he's
What
been
the
my
hell
best
happened to
friend.
me?
He's been my best
Yeah, man, boy, I tell you, this show
He
bring
been
out
my
the
best-
best. What happened to me?
He's been my best friend since
Man, I don't
10th grade.
care.
And
Hate it right now.
it's got we got one of those type of relationships that we are able to kind of see with a real brotherly love,
Mhm.
you know.
Don't bring her around me then. I don't care.
I mean, if I like her, I'm sure you'll like her, right?
Not really.
See-
Not now.
Okay.
I feel like I ain't there. I'm hurt.
Well, you should be. I don't need nobody's opinion on my mate. I don't want to hear what you think. I don't give a damn where you.
You hurt my feelings
It
again.
ain't about you.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's about anybody. Hey,
I feel better,
Jay,
Jay.
you're a little too emotional, man.
Oh, man, you know,
Relax,
I get in my sleeves sometime, man.
No, man, that's some
You gotta
bullshit,
find-
man.
I know.
See how you put me through trouble? Okay, I ain't did nothing.
It happens. This is why people have to have these dialogues, because again, some
No.
people feel like they're more important and they're playing a role in people's lives that they never signed up for. I ain't never looked at you like that. I ain't never asked you to judge my women. And that's where somebody be like, well, my brothers do that. And I feel like you my brother, and you be like, yeah, but I ain't your brother, and I ain't never asked you to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to make sure you sign people on correctly, where you don't misjudge or feel like I have a right to.
Yeah.
That's why I picked that on you on that one, because it needs sidebar. People need to have that kind of understanding, because if you heard what I was just saying about with my brothers, a lot of people are like, I want that.
Yeah.
Okay? That has to be achieved, and it takes time.
Yeah.
Because everybody's not on that level. But what I love about you is you had a person that you can go to like that.
Right.
You don't always go to him.
Well, listen, I never go to him unless I'm absolutely sure.
Now see, that's the defining measure
Right.
that I want to make sure it goes out.
And
Because some people be like, I ain't never sure.
And I have been absolutely sure, and he killed it.
He was dead on.
And he was dead on.
See, that's
but I couldn't see it. Right? And I had been with this young lady for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, what you think about my girl? He was like, she cute. But nah, crap, she ain't for you, bro. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
See,
I don't think she'll make the grade, bro, in the long haul. And I'm like,
so
damn, where are you getting that from? Like,
I'd had you all fucked up.
Like, where are you getting that from, bro? I don't know.
She was cute, Crab.
Yeah, no, but that don't mean nothing.
I know, man, but it meant something at that time. She was fine as hell.
Cute don't make no difference, though, man. You know
I thought it did at that time, though. She was fine, bro. I mean, did you ever go back? Did you ever go back and hit it?
Fine don't mean nothing nowadays,
I know,
bro.
but you ever go back and hit it?
They all fine, pretty much in one way or another.
But you go back
right?
and hit it?
It's a lot of fineness out there.
Hitting ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Nah, that's not my dog. That's my dog.
Go ahead, man. You got another question for
What
me?
you
Yeah,
got?
I'm gonna throw a couple more at y'all.
Well, turn it up, man. Barely hear you.
Hey, that's a little bit better.
Yes, it is.
All right. Now, next question I'm gonna ask you guys is, I guess, a little bit more about the self.
Oh,
Bring
okay.
into the selection.
Okay.
So, how important is it to really define what makes you happy before you can really go out into that selection process?
And one of the things that I'm basing this on is because the other day I seen Nick Cannon on T.I.'s podcast.
Okay.
And he said that he's not looking to be in a relationship because he's still trying to figure out what makes him happy. So, just give me a few thoughts on that concept.
I guess I'll jump first again. Have fun. One of the things I can tell you is not knowing yourself makes you gravitate to things that you like. And a lot of things that you like can get you into situations that's still repetitive. And then you're not understanding yourself. Now, when you take time with self, you'll realize there's a lot of mistakes that was made. And when you reflect and you try to better yourself, it's not about them, it's about you. And when you start asking yourself hard questions about your selection and things that you are not holding yourself accountable to, you can understand why you are falling short of your glory and your happiness. It has nothing to do with somebody else at that point. We always look for things that look good or positive. I get that. But if you're not positive, do you understand you're going to push a lot of that away? You're trying to gravitate to something that's going to have a negative charge coming right from you. But you're trying to be positive. But you don't understand the negative because you don't understand yourself. It really helps to understand you, and then you can understand your gravitational pull to some of the things that comes to you. And that's key to realize, to step back and quit dating and thinking automatically it's the person that you're dating that holds that power. That power stems from you, where you go back and gain your strength. I tell you right now, the first thing I noticed when I started understanding my power is I started understanding what people were saying that they seen in me. At the time they was talking, I felt like they were just talking. But the things that they were saying made sense to me when I understood the things that I was doing. They seen me going great places and doing big things early on. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, but I knew I was living life and I knew I was living good and I knew I was doing things. But great things didn't happen in my mind because it was just other stuff that was plaguing me. Like me not knowing me. So then when I started opening up and I was like, I made this mistake and I took ownership. One of the things you please understand, ownership of mistakes help change your mind. I said, hey, I did this, or I really regret doing this, so I'm gonna start making some change. So now I got a list of all these mistakes. And it's not all a negative, it's just these I did. So I wanted to see what I could do to change these things. So as I started looking at my list and started looking at some of my changes, I started changing my whole aura. So now I'm looking at things differently and I'm attracting things differently. But now I can control better what I didn't know. And that's the saddest thing is once you start seeing that, you start feeling your power. That's when you start looking at scriptures and you start looking at things of motivation in a way of strengthening what you didn't know. That innerness, that inner core, that's the most powerful thing that's on this planet. Right. Is you. Right. And you don't even know it because you're too busy caught up with social media and what somebody else doing that you forget about you a lot of the times. I want you to get back to you. Next thing you know, you'll start doing. You would do the most positive thing, the most strongest thing. It don't have to be just strong in somebody else's eye, it's in yours. If I just stop lying, because I think I can control everything from a lie, because that's why people lie. It's just for control. And I can start giving people honest truth, where they can start making their own decisions. You can find out that people will start looking at you in a different way. But don't get me wrong, they still gonna judge you by the fact that you always lie. You started that. That was your choice. So don't expect everybody to pick up on your positive. You started lying from the beginning. So now you have to change the image that you started. But guess what? It's a long road, but you can do it.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody need to take it from you. Somebody always gonna remind you of the lies you told. But you can keep doing positive things to give people a better reflection of you. That takes power. That takes you. Ain't nobody gonna wanna do this and you don't have self-power. I promise you. I go back to this line. Because I control situations better and I didn't care what they said about my lie. They did pretty much what I said because they had an image of what I wanted, even though I couldn't control it. When I did me, I didn't want to control you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Now you will want to follow me. I want to be with a person that can reflect and speak words into life compared to a person that's lying. And I know they're lying. I know they don't make no sense, but he a good dude. It's a good lie.
Yeah.
So get to be a better person, and it changes things. It actually changes relationships. A person that I dated a long time ago sees some of the things I'm doing now, and they said, you know, if you was doing this back then, my God, I don't know where you would be now. And all I can say is I had to learn my lesson. When I was dealing with you, I was still in my fire. Not willing to change, still willing to be burned, and not willing to understand the seasons of all the seasons I was going through. Now, I ain't trying to go back in the fire for nothing. You lay on me, you seasoned already. You ain't got to touch a flame. I did enough burning. And not in that way because I'm in the ATL, not in that way, but I did enough stuff that I can tell you. You can understand your growth in how you speak and what you do.
I'm having a J moment.
Yeah! Not that way. Not that way, but.
How much burning you talking about?
No burning at all that way. No burning at all. But again, ATL, hell no. I've been very blessed in that way. But again, that fire of going through the lies and going through the torture of not knowing me and dragging somebody along with me down a road that I wasn't for sure of when they thought I had it all together and I didn't.
That's good.
That hell I've been through. And that fire was just my hell. It wasn't the flames. Don't ever get it twisted, but I used the grill for a reason. My grill got a lot of seasoning on it because I did a lot of cooking. Okay? So now I can put some meat on it with no seasoning and you can taste what I've been doing. And that's when you start pouring good stuff into you and you get good stuff out of you.
There you go.
That's when you understand what I'm talking about. It's metaphors, but just get it right.
There you go. Let's go ahead and take another break. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back to more Bar Talk with Jay.
Then a little bit.
Then a little bit.
Man, we had so much fun, man. I had a sidebar, you know, 'cause we got fun, you know, away from the scene. One of the things I want to say right now, I apologize when I say we're ugly. You know, we're not downing a lot of people. No, that's not our whole thing. It's just a lot of times you're not easy on the eye. I don't want to say you ugly, but you really ain't cute. No reason I have to make that define is because some people feel like, you know, I'm trying to lower somebody, and it's not. It's just everybody's not easy on the eye, and even me. You know, somebody look at me and be like, well, "You ain't cute." It's a perception, and I understand that, but I ain't hard on the eye like some people. Okay, so when I hear somebody say ugly, and they want to define what ugly is, hard on the eye.
Those people who are hard on the eyes, it ain't their fault, man.
No, that's why I have no problems talking to them, kicking them all day long. It's not. And I don't feel like I have to even mention you hard on the eye until you come in my face and make me feel like you cute. And you tell me you pretty. and somebody told you pretty, because that was a pretty damn big lie. No, the hell you ain't. Okay, and I don't know why they would lie to you like that. And Jay ain't trying to judge you.
something
No,
else,
I ain't
man.
something else, crap. You
Yes, you are,
you
man.
ain't never had nobody come to you like they was cute. You know what?
But
You-
listen, I know that they flaunting all that they know how to flaunt. That's
They
all
flaunt,
do.
but they still ugly.
They doing all.
They ugly.
You so cold.
Man, it ain't
blooded.
cold. You know
She
damn
told
well.
she told me she looked like Janet Jackson.
Yeah, it look like
Freddie.
Freddie. And you gonna sit there and act like you just cold, Jack. You felt the same way. You just didn't
Cold,
say it.
man. You cold.
No, I don't say it. I don't hurt people's feelings. I just be, you know, when they go to talking and be saying things, I just be like, okay. They be like, so when I'm gonna get your number? Never. Because that's not in the equation. I didn't figure you for fine. Somebody gave you some mathematical equations that ain't add up. Oh, I got this going on. I got that going on. There's nothing wrong with the things you got going on. Keep on them things going on with this understanding. Nope, and no again.
Okay, so tonight, folks, the question becomes:
What's the question?
how do you pick your mate?
Okay, yeah, careful.
And I think Jay is alluding to that.
Oh, a loot? Okay, what kind of loot? I mean, the please understand.
Unattractive women don't get your attention.
Unattractive women. Listen, let me tell you
They
one
don't
thing.
get your attention.
It's
And-
not just no. I want to be fair, because see, I feel like I might be hypocritical.
Yeah.
I have dated some people that was very unattractive.
Okay.
I didn't date them long, but I have dated people that was unattractive.
Why did you date them?
Huh?
Why did you date
I
them?
dated them because they showed me a lot of substance.
Substance. So the substance became the
Yes.
attraction.
It wasn't the attraction of how I looked at them. I wasn't attracted to them at all.
Yeah.
But when they was talking to me, they gravitatively pulled me because they were so positive and they had so much tenacity
You ever had a,
that I was like, wow. You know, I didn't expect that to come out her mouth.
Okay.
And she
so
was just grabbing
You ever
me.
had an unattractive woman to just turn you out, freak you out in the bed?
Yeah, I
And
kinda
you
talk-
start liking her after that?
I kind of got turned out by one. She was a massage person, and she used some oil, and she did some things, and I promise you, bro, I was like, man, this ain't gonna happen. I don't even know why you're doing that. You need to leave that alone.
Jay,
Oh, Lord.
tell me how
Oh, Lord. Hey,
Jay.
what you tell nobody? Yeah, she did
how
that.
do you pick your mate, man? That's
I
what
mean,
we're
that
gonna
wasn't
talk
how I
about
picked. That's just how I did it. I mean, you
better-
ask me some questions, then you take me there, and then you'll take me somewhere else.
No, you
Anyway.
keep going there.
Can I take y'all somewhere?
Go ahead.
All right, 'cause since we're talking about the dating pool,
Okay, go to the dating pool.
how do you get to be more selective about your dating pool without, being too narrow? Because how do you find that balance between being too narrow in the dating pool and trying to be selective?
I would tell you, my whole thing is when I'm out there, because I'm out there widely. Narrow, I will always tell you narrow your selection, because you can't just keep it abroad. You have likes. So narrow your things down. So if it's a search engine, or if you're on I like to say Tinder. If you're on Tinder, start looking at filters. There's certain things that you like, and you need to filter in your likes, and then open up to your mind to some things that can interest you. But don't keep it widely open, because everything out there ain't for you. So I don't want to just keep an openness on everything when I know I'm closed-minded to several different things that's negative to me, that does not work for me. So I know what turns me on.
So you do know, Jay, that the Mrs. Right is gonna come with some stuff you don't like.
All day long. But she
And-
gonna grab and motivate me to realize I'm far from perfect as well. So that will work.
So she gonna change you right away.
She
huh?
would change me in a positive way. Change should be good.
So-
It shouldn't just be negative. She should captivate and motivate me in a way that, hey, even though you thought this way, you misjudged or you judged me. So now let me show you. She will show you without telling you.
Yeah,
She'd be
there-
like, I am the one for you. She gonna speak from authority.
There is a fine line between being too selective and having an open balance. I think that we get ourselves in trouble at both ends of the spectrum, right?
Okay.
Because we might let in too many things that don't align with us, and on the other side of, we may be too selective that we discount something that may be real valuable,
Mhm.
someone that may be real valuable. So obviously balance has to take its place. But see, I'm of the notion, this is just
Okay.
my way,
What's your way?
and it's been this way for many years,
Mhm.
that God picks all my mates. And
So you just
that
throw them all
means-
up.
That means
whoever fall back down, God just.
well, I mean, it's based on my relationship with the Lord, right?
Right.
So anytime I need something or I want something, somehow or another, she just shows up.
Cause
And
crap.
riffraff don't show up, shallowness don't show up, silliness don't show up. He sends real quality people in my life.
You did that in church.
and
You
so
sold my money up and came back down. I said, the Lord gave it to me.
and so I can't decide, and neither can you really. We can't decide who is the ideal mate for us. We really have to be led by the Spirit. We really have to be fulfilled with an anointing to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, or at least people close to it and in that same vicinity.
Now, hold on.
Because
Crap.
you don't know their past 20 years and you don't know their next 20 years, so you have to be divided by something other than yourself. You can't see that person is a
Right.
pathological liar,
Right.
and you may not see that for 20 years. You can't see that even though this person is extremely beautiful on the outside, they're extremely weak on the inside.
Mhm.
And you may find out that part of that early in the game, but you're not really going to know that until way down the road, because that person has created this great wall to hinder people from seeing that they're weak or that they're incapable or whatever the case may be. And so you picking, in most cases, is a mistake, because we get led by the heart and we get led by the mind, and both of those two are worldly, and they just will not take you in the right direction.
So crap.
When you ask, if you meet somebody and you even wondering if they're right for you, you need to ask the man upstairs, and he will quickly bring them closer to you or push them out of your life.
Crap.
I'm talking about trying to find real substance, Jay. We ain't talking about dating and freaking.
Man, yeah, we is. You can say what you want. Your ass be that shit. Don't be tripping. Good Lord was with you too.
We ain't talking. And he brought every one of them to me.
Oh Lord.
That's right.
Hey, now, good Lord.
See,
That him. That him. That him over there. But crap.
I already know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know what you talking
You know
about.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, just saying. I ain't blaming him
I
for
said-
none of that.
I said, Lord, I was telling a friend like that. I said, Lord, I sure need some loving, and I need you to get rid of this out of my spirit, or just bring the right person in my life. And the right person, and he brought
Why
me
did
a
you say
squirrel.
that
I'm like, God, I didn't even know you was that cute.
God
You
damn.
get it. You get it.
She
You
got
get
it.
She got
She
it.
got it. And she scratched your world. Ah, thank you,
silly.
bartender. Now, crap.
So
what
let me
I was
ask you
saying,
this
hang
question, Jay.
on, I'll back you up. I gotta go back to you. When you said God brought in, and one of the things I want to make things relatable to people that's listening, then different than what I was saying before, is you have a better understanding of yourself. You knew that there's something more that you wanted, and you prayed up, but it started within.
Yeah.
So your relationship with the Lord is one that you started with yourself. So again, so when you know He was bringing, you also know the power in your words and what your prayers was given.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people don't know how religious you are and how powerful you are.
Yes.
So when you say the good Lord did it, they don't understand the power of what you asking for, how you spoke things into the atmosphere. So I want to make sure people are aware that you're not just saying, I prayed without work. You worked on a relationship with yourself for Him, for He can understand the words of what you're saying,
Right.
so they can bless and touch other people.
Right.
So again, a lot of times when I pick with Kraft, I don't want nobody to get it mistaken. His spiritualness is gravitating. It's one of the things that I was gravitated to him when I met him, and it wasn't on that because we in ATL, it wasn't on that level, but it was on the level of understanding. This is that powerful of a person that I want to make sure is clear, because everybody don't understand you.
There you go.
So I want to
There you
make sure they know why you speak the way you do, so they don't get confused. Be like, well, Jay crazy,
Yeah.
Jay just this way. You're just more guided by a love of self and understanding of God, and He makes sure you're covered.
You make sure I'm covered.
So that's why I said I threw it up,
Right.
because I ain't always prayed for it, because
Yeah.
I was just hoping it came back down.
Because think about this. Everybody who's ever wanted a relationship, and it's time for us to go to break. But
Mhm.
let me just say this: everybody who's wanted a relationship, You found a relationship. And at the very outset of that relationship, it seemed like you found what you asked for.
Mm-hmm.
But then you realize that what you asked for isn't really what you wanted. Because or needed, because it doesn't look like you thought it would look. It doesn't feel like you thought it would feel. And so we go through this process. Just think about it. If you live 30, 40, 50 years, you've been through this process dozens upon dozens of times, where you met somebody and you had to decipher them and either bring them closer or get rid of them. And we keep making mistakes. We keep getting in the way of probably the best things that could happen for our own lives, because we make shallow decisions. We have to make, I'll say, divine decisions. We have to make decisions that are built on something other than our own knowledge. God knows that person that's in your life right now has got to go through some major hurdle. Whatever it is, maybe they did something in their past and they got to pay for it, but they got to go through a major hurdle. And if you pick that person, you're going to have to go through that hurdle with them. And it may not have been your divine calling. It may not have been your purpose to go through that with them. You may end up going through it with them, but when you start leaning on the Spirit, you can see much further, right? And just to look at a person and think that you can figure them out or know them all right away is preposterous.
Judgmental.
It's some even lack of. It's just preposterous to think that you can. You should begin to accept people for what they bring to the table. And not necessarily, oftentimes the old adage was, I give you my trust until you make a mistake. I think we need to just go in with a little more self-protection. I think we need to go in not giving our whole selves away. I think we need to go in just continuing to ask good questions so that we can determine the righteousness of this person being in my life. Because the Spirit's talking to you every single day. Spirit's telling you last week you should run. You should get up, pack your things, and run. But the worldly is saying, I ain't got enough money, I ain't got enough time, I don't know where I'm going to go, I don't want to be alone, it ain't that bad. And next thing you know, we keep talking ourselves out of some of our greatest blessings. So
I agree,
it's very important to have a spiritual anointing on your relationships and on picking your next mate. I just don't believe at this point that I can meet someone who is not for me, because I am that much covered. I only meet people who are filled with the Spirit, or who are of like mind, or who God put in my life for a reason and a season. And there are no time wasters. There are no people who will rob and steal from me, who will blindside me. I really am blessed in that way, Jay. And if you don't have that level of belief, then you don't have the armor of God on. You're not protected.
That's why I got cameras. What? I mean, at least I know I ain't got that armor, right? So I have to arm myself with
worldly, man.
I keep a gun. I mean, because people have to do
so we
no
gotta
good.
take a station identification. Y'all want y'all to stay tuned. We're gonna come back and wrap this show up with a bang.
I
We'll
got
be
a
right back
concealed permit too.
with more bar talk.
Just in case you come for me.
Jay,
What?
right after this.
All right, welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I gotta tell you, man, we went hard. Now we are to a point where we want to make sure we have a good comeback. The reason I want to have a good comeback is because, again, I don't want to make nobody feel like we know how to pick anything for somebody else.
Right.
Number one thing is, can we have a dialogue to make you understand what you're picking? All right, I made my mistakes. That's why I talked about my hells earlier, just from my learning. So now I can choose people in a different way because I learned myself. I just want to make sure you're comfortable with you, because somebody else see a lot in you.
Yeah.
Don't make them a fool and make them realize that you don't even understand you, because you are the leading vessel. And I think sometimes we're so worldly that we're not real. I got this going, I got that going, but you're not being honest about you. I'm hiding behind everything because I'm confused about what I really want, but I'm going to let this status quo
Yeah.
linger me through where somebody else can catch on very quickly. it don't have to be the most negative things. It's when you rectify by understanding. I seen me going through this and I don't like it. I want to make change and be a better me to make everything align. It makes you a stronger person. So now that weakness that somebody else been knew, because I dated them and I ain't shown no change and I was just doing me. Now see me in a way that they can't compete and say, I know you because you did this. I've stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You're going to have
So-
a lot of haters. You can convince them to be a motivator by actions of which you change and you're doing.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Touch
So-
and change.
Yeah, so we're talking about how do you pick your mate, and I think we've done the subject a pretty good job. We went all the way basically from first appearance, from first sight, all the way down to the character of a man. And I think at some point you're going to find some things in this potential mate that may not agree with you, that may not jive with you, but we're asking you to not be judgmental. We're asking you to see if somehow that may be a gift or an anointing in their life, and potentially could be an anointing in your life. I wanted to ask several questions, and I'm just going to make them rhetorical questions right now, unless you want to chime in
I'll
here.
try.
We're just down to the last 5 or 6 minutes, but rhetorical.
Okay.
Would you judge somebody based on their family?
Yes.
Would you judge somebody based on their history?
Yes.
Would you judge somebody based on bad credit?
No.
Would you judge somebody based on how they keep their car?
Yes.
Would you judge somebody by their story?
Yes.
Would you judge somebody based on how friendly they are?
Yes.
How giving they are?
Yes.
How loyal they are?
Yes.
Would you judge somebody based on...
Damn it, I'm judgmental. Yes. The reason we say this and I have fun with this is you want to say you don't, but you kind of do.
You kind of do,
If I
right?
go in somebody's bathroom and it's nasty, oh, well, you can say whatever you want. I got a problem with this. You
That-
nasty.
Right.
You know, this is your bathroom. There's
Right.
one thing, your room dirty. You always on the go. Get that. I go in your bathroom and it's nasty. You say it there you want.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to be judgmental. So, yes, I have certain things. Get in your car. I understand it's work. It's papers and you got pushed to the side. I'm talking about dust, food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Certain things, yes. And if you got an animal, and y'all that love pets, I know this is going to make y'all be like, forget you, whatever. Their ass don't need to be in the kitchen. I don't need to see no animal on the kitchen counter while you cooking. Talking about he just like family. His family ass need to be in the pen. He need to be in the back room. He don't need to be when you cooking. I believe in, no, certain things just don't always make sense to me.
Right.
So I'm going to become judgmental.
Right.
Because my health is important.
Right.
I understand animals have different kind of bacteria than humans.
Yes.
But you want them to lick on everything. But
Yeah.
he just licking it. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, let me know some
Yeah, we
stuff.
get that. We get that.
But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, these are things that you can be looked at as being judgmental. I'm just saying, we all are somewhat in this world very judgmental. I just say, just watch your judgmental ways. Because again, we have them and we feel that this is just what everyone do. It does not have to be you.
Yeah,
When
see,
you get to learn you and love you. It doesn't.
I'm,
That's a
I'm,
choice.
I'm of the notion that rather than trying to pick a mate, you need to just really focus on companionship. You really need to focus more on friendship and, having great times together, getting to know one another. That mate thing sometimes can kind of determine itself. And, if he's the kind of person, for example, who seems like he might be out doing some other stuff,
Uh-huh.
he probably is. And you may not need to be attached to any of that. Right? And that could be cheating or out selling drugs or, who knows what all that stuff could be. But if you didn't become attached too early in the game, then it's easy to just kind of let them go. It's easy to kind of move on. But if you're just looking for a mate and you're just trying to pick some qualities and some characteristics, I promise you, more often than not, you're going to miss the mark. That's why there's, I'm really to the point now where I'm a little bit afraid of relationships because I see so much failure. And where I don't see failure, I see people who are unhappy. And maybe that is a form of failure.
Yeah,
so I'm just really of the notion that to make the most of your life when it comes to relationships is stop focusing on relationships and just focus on getting to know people and being friends with people. If you gravitate, if there's synchronicity, you find yourself talking about the same subjects and interested in doing the same things, that's when a relationship will come together. But for you to make a decision about you going to get him or you going to get her just based on a few simple facts might lead you into a path that is not going to work out for you. We see most of the paths don't work out.
I agree.
That's statistics. Most of the people that we've ever known in our life, that we've ever had a love interest with, or a liking, or what do they call crush on them?
Oh yeah.
Those just don't work out.
Can I give you one?
So we are living a life where we have the majority of failure in relationships.
Right.
Don't be insane and continue to do what you've been doing because you're going to continue to get the same results. Change your thinking. Go into it lightheartedly. Take care of yourself. Love those who are willing and interested in being loved, and those who aren't, let them go about their business.
Can I have some fun?
Got a question right here.
What we got?
I think most of the time, people who get into a relationship, they just want the title instead of just getting to know that person.
Right.
So I feel like don't put a title on something and get to know that person, and then let it walk into a relationship or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
summarize that real quick.
Yeah, basically she just said that some people are ending up in relationships just because they want the title. They want to be in relationships.
Yep.
And so they meet somebody and somehow or another early in the game they establish this title in relationship and then realize later on that, this ain't the kind of person this ain't the kind of person I need in my life or want in my life or good for me. And now you're kind of stuck. You really may put the cart before the horse.
And I'm going to give you one that's even different, but one of the things I went back to on previous shows, please understand that there's families that used to do this without your consent. That means you was raised up and knowingly that the family was going to push you into a marriage that you had no choice in.
Okay.
But they aligned themselves with a family that was strong enough that they can give goods on that marriage. So they gave up their best son and they gave up their best daughter. And they aligned that you didn't really have a choice. Okay? These marriages last way longer than some of these ones that we just chose.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is because they had an alignment. They had an understanding of family and where they wanted to go.
Yeah, arranged marriages are the longest lasting.
Longest lasting.
Yes.
And what we got away from is we start making our own decisions, our own choices. So you going against the family. You ain't worried about family. I hear it all the time. I don't care if my family even be there. And that's how that was not how it started off. We changed everything with social media and how we're doing now, and then you expect the best. How you going to expect when you didn't even understand? You didn't have a choice. They chose for you. They already knew you weren't going to make the best damn decision. They know this. Because their father knew their child. They knew their daughter. That's why they raised them up to make sure they stay clean as possible. But I can get you aligned with a family that I entrust. Because of my hard work and all the things that I did to make sure you had a good life. And you live prosperous.
And that's why
that's real.
That's why we ought to listen,
But we don't.
when mama or daddy really don't like
It's
the new
like,
spouse.
now I'm forgetting. It's all about what I want. Because
Because
he look good
they
and he put it down.
They can have those people who are closest to us oftentimes are our third eye. They can see insight into things that we are not even looking at and that we just may be blinded. Love will blind you. Love will kind of spin you around to where you just really don't know what's going on. You ain't even made good decisions about who you're with or where you're going. You just fell in love and you got blinded.
I'm going to give you...
And you didn't pay attention to the facts.
And I'm going to give you some things that my mom told
Daddy
me.
can see the facts. Go ahead.
I'm not quick to tell you what to do, son. But what I will tell you is you don't see everything correct. And what you want to run out there and what you call yourself doing, you just don't understand.
Yeah.
So that's another way of teaching, is giving a person a better way of understanding.
Yeah.
Because we're not understanding all what we do.
Yeah.
but we're so quick to say that we're doing the right thing when other people can see that you're just off. You're not on. You need that little bit of extra. So instead of them telling you, they let you grow into. So now when I'm having these conversations with my mom, it's a lot different. She's never been judgmental. She never told me to choose anyone. But now that I talk to her, I see that she's seen some things in people that she didn't feel was be right for me or good for me.
Right.
But she never told me because she said, it's up to you. Just because I see it don't mean it can be true. It's up to you. And that's what's going to help you grow as a man, making better, solid decisions than depending on somebody. Because my mom's, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm not going to always be there to help you do this. But you can do it. Now, I'm asking you to get your ass in position to do it. Quit waiting for somebody to tell you when she wants you to do it. So let's do it and let's laugh.
There you go.
Let's get back to enjoying this.
And this has been our show. How do you pick your mate? We hope you folks have enjoyed our commentary for tonight, our stories, our insight. We hope it's been valuable to you.
Yep, I only had one drink. I was limited tonight. Bartender's mama, she tripping. She's saying, "Mama, don't be like this."
Yeah, so you folks continue to watch us, stay tuned, and we're on every Thursday from 7 to 9, Facebook Live. You can find us on just about every other platform online, and we hope you stay blessed, and come back and see us.
That's right.
Talk
Get
with
jiggy
Jay.
with it, baby.
I'm Craftmatic, my boy Smooth J, and we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.